Hey everybody, it's Matt Johnson. We are back here again with another episode of Real Estate Uncensored. I personally am broadcasting from a beautiful hotel room in Lake Tahoe. This is the Squaw Creek Resort, I believe. Greg, you came up yesterday and I met with us and some other guys for lunch. So Greg was here. Sadly, not here today. He's back in the office as usual. He's the man in the box again. Uh, the junior grandmaster himself. Greg, what's up?
What's up, Matt? Man, it was so much fun coming up and seeing you guys yesterday. I got to see Toby Salgado in person. I got to see Frank Klevitz. That's a big motherfucker, dude. That guy is built like a shit brick house.
He's a lot of man.
He's like a bear. He's on 2 feet when he walks up to you. You're like, damn, they make him that big? Because when I have to look up to someone, that's unique.
Yeah, that is unique. You're a tall guy.
Yeah, Pete and Peter got to hang out with them. Got to meet Les, was Peter's business partner, right?
Len.
Great guy. But I got to tell you a story, Matt. I got to tell you a story. So on the way up, I was driving my father's Denali because I lent mine to a family friend who went in for cancer treatment, and I gave my Mercedes to my father to drive. So what I didn't know about my father is that he has this thing against windshield wiper fluid. And as we all know, driving in the snow, the windshield wiper fluid, which is good to a negative 15 degrees, kind of saves your ass, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know this. So I'm driving along, just happy, just do. And then, holy shit, here comes freezing ice. Everything on my vehicle is frozen. My entire windshield is covered in muck and gunk, which is frozen, by the way. So my genius asked, what do I do? Since I lived in the snow, I knew what to do, of course. So I pulled over, and I decided to take water, freezing temperatures, people, and pour it on my windshield so that I could clear it off.
Sounds logical.
It was very logical.
Mm-hmm.
So then I continued on my happy ass way. After almost getting run over, I am literally down. Whoever can see me, I'm looking through the top of my steering wheel. There's this one little part of glass that's clear right there. I'm slowly going into the other lane. I'm getting honked at by semis as they go blazing past me. I can't see what the fuck I'm doing. I finally, thank God, I'm praying for everything. My window wipers are going like this. I'm like, please let me see something. Please let me see something. Oh my God. Oh, there's an exit. I pull over. And I get over to the side, and I'm a little shaken, I gotta tell you. And I get some window washing fluid. I make it almost there, but keep in mind, since I put water on everything, the squirter things on my windshield wipers, one of them was frozen. So now I only have one of them working. So I have a box like this where I can barely see that changes every single time as this goes getting down. I get down to the bottom of the mountain. Right when I get off I-80, I turn on to I-89. My window shield's completely clouded up because another semi goes past me, just shoots dirt and grime all over my windows. Yep. I, honest to God, got really nervous because I could not see anything. I had to roll down my window and look out the window like there's like a dog hanging out the side of a window. Pull over, figure out that I refill with windshield wiper, clean everything off. And so I'm a little panicky. I'm like, oh, shit, man, how the hell am I going to get home? So I come hang out with you guys, had an awesome time. But I'll tell you, I was not letting that happen to me again. So I got back out on the road. I went out and I went to a gas station. Dude, I didn't load up a little bit on windshield wiper. I got 4 or 5 bottles of the windshield wiper fluid, and I was ready for war, man. I got water bottles with the squishy tops. I got other water bottles, and I filled them up with the windshield wiper fluid because I wasn't gonna let myself crash or die or get hit on the side of the road because I couldn't see. So I swear to God, man, I was like an Indian on the warpath. I had my paint on my face. I got my bottles, which would be my guns and my bullets. I was loaded. I got my extra containers in the back. Dude, I was ready for Armageddon. Come and get it when it comes to winter snow and grime. So, crack my neck.
Have like a bandolier of windshield wiper fluid containers just wrapped around a leather bandolier around your person.
Instead of grenades, it was just water bottles full of window shield wiper fluid.
Yeah.
Have one in my driving glove compartment over here, and so I hit the road. Right. I was ready for it. Now I get on the road, and it's snowing pretty hard, really pretty hard. And then I get to the top, right where it's gonna be super, like it's gonna get gnarly. Sunshine. Whole rest of the ride home.
You prepared for absolutely nothing to happen.
So anticlimactic. I was just like, son of a bitch. But the upside is, if you guys want to buy stock in windshield wiper fluid stock, I made that stock go through the roof yesterday. But I made it back. I made it back safe and sound, and I have some amazing shout outs and
Yeah.
That was a hell of a good time, and couldn't wait to tell you that story because I was so ready to attack the world, and nothing happened.
It seems about right. But yeah, but that's the way it goes, right? You be prepared for something, and then it doesn't happen, and you feel bad. But if you hadn't been prepared, it would have absolutely happened with
Oh yeah.
100% certainty.
Oh, I would have been
Yeah.
foobarred up there, just like
Oh yeah.
freezing, 10 hours in the snow, body dehydrating. Going into the cramp movements like this because you're so cold and shaking. Yeah.
That's right. All right. Well, we do have some fun real estate stuff to talk about today.
You do?
Yeah, we do actually. So we're talking about what makes a good brokerage and what you should look for in a brokerage. So whether you're looking to switch, whether you're looking to join up for the first time, or you're relaunching, whatever the case is, we're going to talk about all the things that make a good brokerage good for you or not. We'll also take a couple questions from the Facebook lead gen description objections Facebook group. So we've got some things to get to, and then we've got some shout outs and stuff like that. So what do you say we take a quick question, Greg?
Sure.
What do you think?
We need to give you an espresso shot, buddy.
Yeah, we do. So that's my story for the day. Is I have had decaf coffee, hot coffee in the morning this morning.
Why would you do that?
I have not had any iced coffee this afternoon that actually gives me any boost of anything.
You know what? I don't trust people that drink decaf, man.
Well, I'm one of them. Well, but that's the thing. I don't need it in the morning. I need it in the afternoon. Like, this is the time when I crash. So that's why I usually go to Starbucks around this time. If I'm not doing the podcast, I have a little espresso shot right on the stand-up desk with me. Unfortunately, so I was out to lunch with a couple of guys today in Tahoe City, and we could not get they could not pay the check fast enough. We're just sitting there, and they weren't coming back. They dropped off the check, but they wouldn't receive the check, and that's really
bastards.
That's like Seinfeld said. That's really the most important part. It's really anybody can give the check. You want to receive the check.
I want to pay you so I can go my way.
That's right, exactly. So they would not receive the check, and so I was therefore late getting, and my cell phone died on the way in. So I had my navigation turned on, and cell phone died on the way back from Tahoe City to the resort. I took the wrong road. There's literally, you talk about being prepared, right? There's only two roads you can take. One of them is the resort. The other goes to private homes. I've been to the resort before.
Go left. You just go left.
I went right. Exactly. So anyway,
actually, if I known you were, I used to live right on that last turn, right before you get in, like you can see Tahoe City. To the right hand side, you may or may not have seen it, but there's a lumber yard and a Caltrans yard. Right between them, there's two cottages or little green cabins. I used to live in the one on the. No, they're actually houses, jackass.
Oh, okay. All right.
They're not little, A-frames, little bunks. No, they're actually little houses. I used to rent the one on the right-hand side, and it backs right up to the Tahoe Truckee River. Dude, that place was so much fun to live. And that was a good times, man. Good times.
Oh, to be young and dumb and have no money.
Oh, God, yes. Why can't we just go back to the no money, young and dumb thing?
Well, I was going to say, you can go back to having no money. You can always go back to being dumb. You can stop reading books and developing yourself. I mean, it's really just the young part. All right, so real quick, let's do. I'm curious about this too. So if anybody's not familiar with the group, it's Facebook Lead Gen Description Objections. Go to facebook.com/group/gotobjections. So what do you provide to your buyers and sellers to give them the entire buyer and selling process? So I'm assuming they're looking for ideas for buyer or seller booklets. I don't know if you guys have anything for that. I know for Jeff Cohn's team, they have a PDF document that walks people through the entire process. They have one specific for buyers and sellers. So all of their agents have that. I know a lot of, there's some other top teams around the country that use something similar. What about you, Greg?
Yeah, Matt. So we have the same. We have this booklet that we give. Introduces the team, little bios. It has pretty pictures. Kind of talks about some stuff. One of the ones that I like. We have 3 or 4 pages of just these are. Some of the homes that we've sold in the area with then 3 pages of addresses and just stuff like that. We showcase how good we are, our tech side, all video on iTunes. I'm sorry you can't see all this awesomeness. We show them the fact that we help staging, that we can go before and after stuff. So, this is we got this book done by a guy in England. For $500, he created that thing. It was ridiculous.
Wow.
And so then that's where typically I bring that out for sellers, and it's always a hit. And then this is a trifold, same thing, just a smaller, more condensed version of it. Hand this out to buyers a lot. That's what we generally bring out to them. And number one, we get one of two answers. Wow, that's amazing. Or, wow, that's amazing. I can't, that's so professional. And I'm looking at it, I'm going, well, it's in color. It's amazing.
Yeah. It's amazing what paying someone a small sum of money to do actual graphic design work will do for you.
And it really does make a huge difference. We've seen a dramatic uptick in positive responses for people we don't know on the first time out using these. It gives us credibility. Also, we can email it if we can't get a copy. If we ran out, we have them in PDF form, so we email it to them if they like that manner as well. So that's what we do. And then again, like we've always talked about, is getting on that value add rocket ship in talking, using your lips and having positive noise come out between them and say how good you are and what's going on. That's just like
using your lips and having good stuff come out between them. I'm not even gonna I don't even have to say anything else. I'm just repeating what you said.
Doesn't that make me smell smart? I mean SMRT. I mean SMART. Right. I always get it wrong.
Okay.
No, all joking around. It really does do a lot of positive things. And if anyone's interested, I'd be happy to pass on the name. Well, actually, I wouldn't. Eileen will, our team manager, the Steel Trap, who just snuck out, would be happy to pass on the guy's information. He's awesome.
Cool. All right. Well, let's see. Why don't we give Greg? You want to start us off with some shout-outs, and then I will give a couple of shout-outs, and then we will get into what makes a great brokerage, and what you should be looking for, and depending on what kind of agent, what stage you're in. We'll talk about all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, a couple of shout-outs. I'm going to leave one of them for the last because I'm going to got to show you guys some stuff and talk about it. It was super awesome. Janet Lee, dude, rock star. I'm so glad we got you on the books. I believe for the 18th, on the 24th. We're on the books for the 24th. Neely, thank you for creating the private Facebook group. You guys, anybody and everybody that's taken the McDaniel challenge or would like to take the McDaniel challenge, we're going to bring you into the private Facebook group where you're going to get more of me and Matt, one-on-one videos, short little clips, tips, and tricks that you guys can then feast on and use in your daily business. And by the way, Matt, Neely has crowned herself the junior grandmaster. So
Grandmaster the third.
Grandmaster to the third power.
Okay.
But thank you, Neely. You're amazing. Then it was awesome meeting with all the guys in Tahoe. Super cool. Never got to meet a lot of them. Awesome stuff. Mike from Washington. Great chat on Monday night, man. As always, you and I always had a good, powerful, engaging conversation. Stay up with me, dude. I really think you got something going on. Ronnie Jacks, YouTube, man. Okay, so she hit me up, man. One of our, I think it's our 8th episode. We did an audio interview on door knocking. Our audio quality was kind of garbage.
Yeah,
John. I remember that. I remember that one. And so she said she couldn't really make it out, but what she could make out was really good stuff. So thank you for that. Also, Ronnie, if you want to get more door knocking stuff, like I said in the email and the chats today, just go to YouTube and type in Greg McDaniel door knocking. You'll see 4 videos of me in a white shirt sitting at a desk. I'll cover everything for door knocking for anybody that's actually looking for something like that.
Yeah, actually, on that note, Greg, I think I pulled a bunch of your old videos, including the webinars you did for Active Rain. They have like 20,000 views. All that stuff is on our website under the media page. So if you go to McDanielRealEstateSystems.com and you click on media, it's got a bunch of Greg's stuff that way you don't have to go searching for it on YouTube. I've already got it on that page, I believe. So. And then there's also stuff on our YouTube channel. We did a short series of door knocking videos too, which gives your perspective and your scripts. So if you just go to the McDaniel Real Estate Systems YouTube channel and look for door knocking under the real estate agent training videos, they're all there too. Yeah,
I am on our media page right now. I don't know if I see that, dude. Well, anyways, we'll get it handled. Anyway. And then James Shelby tonight, dude. We're gonna kick ass, take names. I'm looking forward to our conversation as always, man. And of course, okay. Last but not least, dude, Trey, you are a rock star, man. He and I were talking the other day. He wants us to come down to Baton Rouge and do some speaking with him. And he talked to me about this thing called a king cake. Now, I'd never heard of a king cake. So he's like, "You never heard of a king cake, dude? I'm sending you a king cake." Now, I did not actually think he was gonna send me a king cake. He did send me a king cake, and hold on, let me do this. So this is what he sent me. I'm gonna move this around a little bit for you guys that can see it. This is a traditional king cake.
Now, notice that for those of you watching or listening at home, Greg is happy to show you a picture because the real cake behind it has been, what, 90% eaten? It's just a box.
Yeah, I'm not going to show that. It's not going to do it justice. But
Yeah.
what I will do is make everybody jealous. Trey, this is your dude. This is for you. Amazing. Thank you. No,
All right.
I'm
And
going to be
while
on a sugar high
Greg
for the
doesn't have
next 6
to,
hours.
yeah, all right. I was gonna say, I will handle the next couple of shout outs so that Greg can finish swallowing his king cake. So
Brokerage?
number one, thank you to Viral Marketing for making podcasts and hangouts like these happen. So you can check them out at getviral.com. They do a phenomenal job of running Greg's real estate video blog for the Bay Area, and that helps him get more repeat and referral business from his database. So you can check them out if you're interested in that. Also, if you want to generate buyer leads online of a more sustainable number, very affordable, so that you can actually work them and get real clients and real deals, check out Equity with 2 Qs. So, or you can also get a hold of Greg to see if it's available in your market, because that's in beta mode right now. So thank you. Shout out to those very two special vendors and people that help us out with the show. Yes, and the private Facebook the private Facebook group until I need coffee.
We need to do a
Wow.
coffee. Yeah,
like a
immediate
IV
coffee.
infusion. I'm like dehydrated. Yeah, so the private Facebook group, we will be adding people to that over the course of the next couple weeks. So if you don't see that come up right away, don't worry. We're having to go back and figure out who Greg has talked to and add you to the Facebook group. So anyway,
it's been months and months of fun.
and then that'll be a cool forum, so you guys can, especially at least for me, like Greg, obviously you love to talk all the time, talk prospecting, salesmanship, lead generation. Like there's specific things that you like to talk about. That was the point of that, Greg.
Okay.
I mean, you can answer a whole wide range of questions from an agent's perspective. This is like the private Facebook group. If you want to get hold of me and you have specific marketing questions, I would be more than happy to answer them. That is the best way to get a hold of me and get a marketing opinion on something in regards to real estate, is on that group. So.
Matt does like people. He does. I promise.
I do like people. They just drain me sometimes. I just got done with like a 3 or 4 hour lunch hangout session, and I hopped on the hangout, and Greg's like, "Dude, you are tired." And I hadn't really thought about it, but yeah, it drains my energy, and then I need to go away and be by myself for a while and replenish. That's all it is. So.
Go hibernate.
I need to hibernate. That's right. I'm like a bear.
Go sleepy time.
Yeah.
Okay, right. I'll go deal with you, big bad cruel world. All right, enough of us banter.
That's right. So brokerages.
Want to do some educations?
We do. We do want to do some education.
Okay, let's do some educations.
All right. So first of all, do you want to start just with before we get into like what's good for everybody? Why don't you tell people why you guys are with the brokerage that you're at, and I will tell you why you're wrong.
Bite me.
Just kidding. Just tell people.
I will chastise you publicly.
What was your decision-making process, or at the time maybe your father's decision-making process? I don't know how long you guys have been there, but just tell us a little bit about like what you get out of it from being where you're at, and why you're there, and why you chose to keep your team there as opposed to moving somewhere that's very team-oriented, like a Keller Williams, for example.
Okay, so the reason why we're with our brokerage, J. Rockcliffe Realtors, one, we're the #1 brokerage in our area. Our leader, Jeff Sposito, has successfully led basically the same group of people from brokerage to brokerage to brokerage. I joined it when it was, what was it? Alon Pinnell, which is a regional company. Then we moved over to Antero, which is led by Gina Bafari, who's now leading all of Berkshire Hathaway. Then when we split off and Jeff Sposito, our owner, bought the East Bay 5 offices from Antero, the same people just kind of moved over. And it's a great group of folks. We're very powerful, good, caring, wonderful, individuals, very supportive of their staff. Jeff is a believer in giving everything he can free to the agents that he possibly can. So, what you guys don't see out that door right there is a big, beautiful office, which clients love to come into. And clients always respond like, wow, this is like the nicest office I've ever been in for real estate. So, besides the fact that he's like the Pied Piper and we've followed him from place to place, he has our back. If there's an issue, he'll go to war for us, so that's why we're with him. Now, Keller Williams in our marketplace does not have a major foothold, if any foothold. A few agents have are doing good business, but you don't see the Keller Williams sign up here in our area. J. Rockcliffe just blows everybody out of the water. So we're with the top brokerage in our territory. That's the other reason.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, and obviously in San Diego, Keller Williams is huge. You've got Chris Heller, who's the president of KWRI or Worldwide or whatever you want to call it, is based out of I think the KW Del Mar office. Mm-hmm. So yeah, so KW obviously has a really, really strong presence in Southern California. So I mean, that's it's different. You know, even the biggest brokerage and the fastest growing brokerage in the country may not have the penetration in your specific area to have the name recognition you want. Now, and this is why I talk about telling you the wrong, Greg. My personal opinion is that your brokerage name usually doesn't matter as much to the consumer as the broker thinks it does or as the agent thinks it does. Now that's, like I said, that's my personal opinion. Not that not that you'd be more or less successful by moving over, but I don't know that it matters as much to the average run-of-the-mill consumer, other than the fact that they, by osmosis, they think it's important for them to see the broker signs all over everywhere. Now, granted, that has no bearing on your individual talent as an agent,
right?
Or what they price their house at, which is what really determines whether their house sells.
Is what I do. I price the home, but you're right and you're wrong on this. So our team could pick up and move. We're not leaving. Anybody who's from Rockcliffe, we're not leaving. But a new agent who's getting into the business, you do need to consider the brand in the area, because if you have nothing to hang your hat on, you've never done a deal in your life, but you can hang your hat on the fact that your brokerage is number one. You guys closed like 3,000 deals last year, and you have the best team, best manager, you get great support, you got all this training. That is very important. Okay, you have to keep that in mind, because having a lower split potentially, but better support and better training is far more important than a higher split, because 100% of nothing is nothing. I'd rather take 65, 55, 75, whatever the split numbers are, and then build your way up, because you know what? You're going to put money in your pocket. You're going to be able to do what you need to do. And if you have a question, oh, look at this. I have a trainer I can go talk to. I have support staff that will do things for me. That is what you really need to keep in mind. And even if you're a dominant team, and you're just looking for maybe a change in culture, a change in morale, change in staff, change in location, you know what? Then if you're going to go out and change, go out and interview multiple brokerages, identify what's most important to you prior to those meetings, and then go out and execute and don't deviate. And obviously don't show your hands, be like, well, this is everything that's important to me. Can you meet all these goals? Ask them. Ask the questions that will bring the questions out for them to answer those questions, and then go away. Plus column, negative column, each brokerage, whichever one comes out more in the plus column, well, you have your answer.
That's right. Yeah, and let's. Why don't we just read off our list of things to consider, and then we'll go deeper on maybe 2 or 3 of them.
Good-looking secretaries.
Well, that's an essential. I mean, that wasn't even on the list. Like that's just the barrier of admission.
That's my personal one.
Oh, okay. Okay. For anybody that's offended, please hang on, because we do have a good list of things to actually look for in a brokerage besides attractive secretarial staff. Good Lord, Greg. Oh, okay.
Keep some morale up around the office, Matt.
I'm sure it does. I'm sure it does. All right. So culture, camaraderie, updated training, extremely important. Splits, you talked about that. Education, admin support, forward thinking, marketing tools, and then compatibility. And we'll talk a little bit more maybe about the compatibility. So let's talk about the culture and the camaraderie. What I see with like from hanging around like Jeff Cohn's team, for example, where they have a very defined team culture. They do compete against each other in the sense that they do track all their numbers are public, and they're literally on a board in the office. So everybody knows how everybody else is doing and roughly what everybody else is making. So they do compete against each other in that way. But they have created a really cool culture where if you as the average agent have any question, not only do they have an ops manager and they've got admin staff that you can go to, but more importantly, if it's an issue that you have dealing with that is specifically sales in nature, that you can really only talk to other agents about, you literally can go to any other agent in that office and they will be more than happy to help you. I get the sense, just from hanging around your office a little bit, Greg, and it seems to be that for the most part it's that way. I've hung around some Keller Williams offices that are that way. Obviously, that's not every brokerage, and that's not every office of every brokerage. Sometimes you do get more of that competitive environment. So, tell me a little bit about, like, if you were a brand new agent, Greg, what would you look for in terms of the culture of the environment in the office that you would like to work in?
You're going to want an office that's going to be a warm, inviting office. You don't want a stale, old, and I'm still going to alienate so many listeners right now. You don't want to. It's not like I don't do that every show. So what's new?
That's true.
Which
It's
segment
uncensored
of our
for a reason,
listeners?
right?
What segment am I going to alienate this time? But honestly, guys, it depends on your age bracket and where you are in life. You're going to want to go around a culture that's going to be similar to your age bracket and where you are. There's a company called Rossmore Realty here in the area, and it's specifically dedicated for a massive retirement community in there. And so predominantly the agents are an older age bracket because they can relate to the sellers and the buyers that they're working with. Now, let's say you're starting off as a younger agent. You know, in San Diego, I would probably interview with Keller Williams and a few of the other majors. Up here, I'd interview with Rockcliffe and a couple of the other majors here in the neighborhoods. But you want to make sure that the people are nice, man. You don't want to work with a bunch of pricks because you're going to be seeing these people day in and day out. You have a question, they may or may not answer it. You know, real estate is kind of like a tribe, you know, in your brokerage. You want to keep that kind of things kind of in-house. You want to get advice from the top brokers, and you want to work with the top brokers. So when you're in there, look for a community that is nice, friendly, giving, knowledgeable, experienced. They're not snobbish, you know, and pretentious and reclusive. Not pulling a Matt, not going recluse. But you want to make sure, because most of the mid-level producers, not the people who listen to this show, I'm saying the people who don't listen to this show, are the mid-level producers that hold on to everything. It's mine. I'm not going to share it with you.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? You want to find someone that would say, hey, Matt, dude, you got a question about this script or this technique, or you know what, you want to get a copy of this book, man? I'd be happy to help you grow your business. Here is the information. That's number one. And when you pick an office, but you also need to make sure that the people there are competent and that your trainer is competent and not like wet cardboard, just saggy and nasty and just outdated and shitty. You know, you want someone that is fun, vibrant, intelligent, forward-thinking, you know, aggressive with technology, because you know what, guys, tech is coming down the pipe. And if you're still reading off a black and white 3-ring binder, run for the hills, because that shit is so outdated. It's going to make you look, well, never mind.
Yeah.
And digress. Go. Do not say anything more, Greg. They're in the dangerous territory.
That's right. That's right. Forward thinking.
A few of the things that I would look for. But what attracted you, Matt? I want to hear this. What attracted you to Combs? It's so Wednesday.
I mean, what did I like about Jeff Cohn's team?
Yeah. Why have you gravitated towards you? Because I mean, you're a very intelligent guy. You know what agents want. You work with agents all over the country. What made him stand out?
So Jeff is an interesting guy, and he's built a very interesting culture, and that's exactly what it is. I mean, it's not just an atmosphere. It's not just, oh, it's a cool office. It's not just that there's a few cool people. It's that Jeff is very good at making sure that everyone's incentives are lined up to do the right things. Mm-hmm. So the default behavior tends to be the right behavior. And Frank at Viral Marketing is also extremely good at that. He's always thinking in those terms. That takes a high-level thinker. It takes someone that's very good at managing and leading other people, and honestly, most people are none of those things. Most people don't. They cannot think at that level. They cannot think in terms of incentives. They cannot think in terms of leadership and really finding the right people for the right positions and then leading them in the right way. So I think it's rare to come across guys like that. I mean, if I was going to be an agent in Omaha, I would not work for anyone else. And just so that you know, it's like a 50-50 split. Now, those can grow depending on what it is and if it's like coming from your sphere. And there's exceptions, but like let's say you take one of his internet leads. You're going to pay him a 50% referral fee. But it's well worth it because you're going to do 3 and 4 times as many deals as you would if you were just solo.
Right, and then you can leverage off of those leads, which you don't owe a referral fee on. It just gets you moving, man. That's one thing that agents don't have. They don't have money. They don't have leads when they get into the business. That's a phenomenal. Right. That's what I've always said. Yeah. If a manager or a brokerage can do that, they're going to win over the hearts, minds, and souls of the agents because they're going to feel indebted to the broker, which they should a little bit, not like indentured servant status, but I mean you should feel like, hey, this guy or gal really helped me out, help me start my career. And
yeah, I mean, like if I was starting over, the first thing I would do is go join a team, and I mean a team that gives you leads. Because what you need as a new agent is you've got, like, the hardest thing as a new agent is to get the repetition, right? I mean, you're just like your scripting, your phrasing isn't down, so that when you get those opportunities, you're going to drop half of them. you have to have as much repetition as possible, and joining a team that gives you leads takes care of that, right?
It takes care of that. I mean,
Yeah.
but you need to make sure the team
And the
structure,
training.
team structure, team culture matches you where you want to go. Everyone runs their team differently. You need to be very specific on that, on how that team is structured. But I mean, back to the office real quick. I mean, a manager is essential. You have to have a manager that has a good reputation, that's smart, that has your back, that that is overall good at what they do. Because if you have a shit manager that nobody likes or respects in the overall community and or brokerage, when you go to them for questions or anything else, and then they go to talk to another manager or another agent that's having an issue, there's going to be no respect. Therefore, there's not going to be any leverage.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing that a lot of people don't really see. And the morale in the office will be a direct reflection of the management leadership.
Yeah. I mean, if you're a sensitive or an intuitive person, you might be able to walk into an office and pick up what the culture is like just by feeling the atmosphere in the room.
I'm a sensitive.
I'm sure you are.
I'm a sensitive.
But still, like if you can go attend like a team meeting, I mean, those can be very, very revealing just by the atmosphere, and you watch how, not necessarily how the agents, watch how the admin staff treat the boss, the manager, the owner, the broker, whatever it is, like whoever's the head honcho, just watch how their underlings act around them, and that will tell you just about everything you need to know. Not to spoil anyone's love of daytime television, but as Adam Carolla has said many times, all of Ellen DeGeneres' staff is scared shitless of her.
Really?
Yes. So the TV persona is exactly that. It is a persona.
No shit.
Yeah.
Well,
so there's your fun fact for the day,
well,
Greg.
I'm not gonna watch her show anymore. Then I'm taking it right off my daily activity list.
I know you're usually in sweats on the couch watching Ellen, but yeah.
With popcorn and champagne, baby. Only way to do Ellen.
That's right. All right, so let's talk about splits a little bit. So, and Jeff and I have talked about this a lot on the recruiting side, which is one of the reasons Jeff doesn't even allow brand new agents to join his team is because they tend to chase the highest splits, not realizing what's in their best interest, which is to get correctly trained to the point where they can go out and secure clients and do a good job for them so that they get referrals and actually start building a real business. Newer agents tend to be very concerned, and then they're weighing all these options. But it's like focusing, like going and finding a car and just buying the one that's the lowest cost, right? It's focusing on the wrong thing. You need to be looking at the total value and not the split. So, Greg, what's your perspective on splits, and what's reasonable for a new agent to start out? Like, if a broker says, "Hey, I'm going to give you 50-50," and they give you no leads. Like that to me is ridiculous.
Fuck him for
offer you 70-30, 65, 35 or whatever the math is. I'm assuming that's probably where most new agents are starting, right?
Yeah, I mean, our brokerage, I mean, from what I've talked to a few of the agents, they're between 70 and 75% to start, in our office. But I mean, they're not getting leads. I mean, they're not getting, that kind of the support, but they are getting amazing, back end support. They got amazing staff, amazing, managers and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, you really need to weigh, like Matt was saying, if I was to come into a brokerage knowing what I know now as a new agent, well, that's impossible because they can't do that. But I would probably say I would like to start at like a lower split with break points of like, okay, I do 5 deals, 10 deals, 15 deals. At these different points, I have the ability to renegotiate my split based upon, how fast I got them, what kind of price points, how they were negotiated. Did I get sued? Which is a big problem for some agents. And then raise your split, because along the way, if a brokerage has better coaching, training, support, and it's a big brokerage, shiny everything and good people, and I get a lower split and I can have the ability to grow my split, well, that's on me then. I mean, if I want more money, I have to invest into my business, not just on my business. So I get to work on myself, personal growth, reading podcasts like all of you genius people are doing right now, listening to this. Yeah, that's me patting myself on the back.
Exactly. Don't knock yourself out of your chair, Greg.
But that's what I would do. Because once you get in with good people, you'll know it immediately. You know,
Yeah.
it's like any of the guys and gals out there that are happily married, you know, or in a good, solid relationship, you know, when you found that good person, you know, that I resonate with this other human being. That's the same way it's going to be with a brokerage, because you're basically in a relationship with them. I mean, you see them every day in the morning and at night. You know, they're paying you. Sometimes if you're working hard enough, they're going to see you in the good days and the bad days. So how are they going to support you? Really think about this, because that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about forward thinking in two terms. So number one would be training, and then the marketing tools that they provide. So as whether you're a new agent or whether you're relaunching, you're thinking of moving over, like when you're evaluating that, like how do you get an inside peek and really evaluate, like, okay, like everybody has a training program. Everybody's going to tell you it's awesome, right? I mean, I can tell you what Jeff Cohn's is, and and other people can compare that, but that's a team. That's a little bit different structure. That's not a brokerage, So what, from a brokerage perspective, what's a good training program, like a baseline that they should be looking for?
Well, it's kind of like, I am going to toot my own horn. I created the AIM program, the Agents in Motion for Rockcliffe. And what I did when I mentally went in and built this training program is I went from soup to nuts on this thing. Everything an agent's going to need to have in their arsenal to go out and do real estate. So we talk about mindset. We talk about prospecting avenues, high tech, high touch. We break into the high tech quite a bit. What's coming down the pipe. I'm always doing research. I'm watching blabs. You need to be on that cutting edge of what's coming down, so you can then regurgitate that and disseminate it back down into the brokerage, so that the agents can be ahead of the curve of the other agents that are out in the market that don't have a training program like that. You also need to break down how to market, using the traditional methods, and then integrating and infusing the high-tech aspects of training into those older school ways of doing prospecting, so that you can be a new breed of agent. You also need to go over contracts. Guys, figure out the mother blanking contract. It's the thing that you have to rely on. So know it like the Bible. If you guys are religious, if you're not, disregard that, but just know it. Okay. That's just smirking in the back like, God, Greg.
As if you can't use that expression if the person listening on the other end is not religious, because they'll be very offended.
Hey, yeah, man, I am Mr. P fucking C.
That's right.
Know
those contracts like the back of the Quran.
Correct is not my gig. So knowing the contracts, knowing the disclosures, knowing the process, there's a lot of intricacies into these contracts, and know how to work these things.
Yeah. And who can you go to for questions, and are they good, and are they available?
All that stuff. I mean, how to work with buyers. Just guys, these are the basics to your business. How to, what do you do when you get a listing? There's a novel thought. Most agents are like, I got a listing. Now what? How do I bring this to market?
So we did a whole episode on it. There's virtually nothing else out there on it.
Nothing. But yeah, those are some of the things to think about, guys. when you look at them, I know I'm not going to bash the trainer that was the trainer before me. Yeah, I am. She had the black and white photocopies. 3-ring binder. Was not very entertaining from what I underheard. It was like eating, cereal with no sugar and no milk. It's like, this is good. Hey, can I have more, please?
Yeah.
Well, now I am the croissant with a coffee. How'd that go? No, bad French. Okay, moving forward.
All right. So we talked about culture and camaraderie, talked about updated training, splits, education, forward thinking. Let's talk about marketing tools a little bit. So Greg, what are some of the things that you look for to be provided, not at the team level, but at the brokerage level for agents, for technology? For marketing tools,
basic stuff, man. You need a website for one, a website hosted by them. You need it to be, you can change it and put your own color to it. You need to have a email drip follow up. You need to have a CRM in the back end. You need to have a social media presence. We have not Agents in Motion. We have a Rockcliffe website with a very intuitive back end. And it does a lot of really high-tech stuff that they spend a lot of money on. And they have a whole drip email campaigns for buyers, sellers, homeowners, and then a few other selections in there with pre-written stuff. Dude, it's push and play. End of story. You also need to have good marketing, intel. You need to have flyers that really show the fact that this brokerage has the finger on the pulse of the market. They know what's going on. Here are some graphs. Here's some charts. Have it digitally. Have it, in hard print for you to take out to a homeowner's house. You need to have video training tutorials on specific subject matters, which we're working on doing in our brokerage right now. So the agents at 4 o'clock in the morning, when they're sweating bullets over a deal, and they're like, oh, what about da? Well, go to the site, check this out. Those are some things that it's basically knowledge and then technology on the back end. Like we have a green room for our agents to go in and shoot videos. Michael Fielden and Jeffrey Sherborn are guys, and they will do the video. They'll edit it. They'll produce it for you and then ship it out for you so that you can have professional looking videos. Videos are the highest trending type of media that out there, hands bar none. I mean, you have to be on some sort of video. And you know what, as I always talk about, I mean, you can use your iPhone. I use my iPhone all the time. But if you need a little bit of coaching, a green room would be fantastic. I mean, I've paid thousands of dollars to shoot in a green room. Dude, I just call Michael up. Hey, Michael, it's Greg. I'm going to come down and shoot in the green room. All right, scene 20. Bye. Click. Boom. I shoot down. That should be huge. What are you grimacing about?
I think I was yawning. No offense to you, Greg, of course.
Oh, no, Greg, you're entertaining. I promise you.
It was good. It was good. No, I woke up before you finished. Let's talk about compatibility.
Because you.
All right, so
yeah,
so I'm always curious about this. So I asked a top guy earlier today, like why he's with the brokerage he's with. He has a big team, multiple offices, blah blah blah. So he was able to develop a personal relationship with the CEO. They have a good relationship. They have no problem with them building teams. They basically leave them alone, let them do whatever they want. Great, fantastic. That's not everybody. You're not always going to be in a situation where you have direct access to a head honcho of that brokerage, or in that case, the company itself, right, nationwide. So you want to go to what I would look for. Let's say is if I were starting over today, I would look for a brokerage and an office that supports teams, like that they're aligned with the values of the organization that I would want to build, right? So I don't want to go to a place like, and not every Coldwell banker is like this, but I know someone who's at a Coldwell banker office who would like to build a team, except that they charge $750 desk fee for every agent that he brings onto his quote team. So he can't, even though he's generating leads, he doesn't want to add buyer's agents because it costs him so much for every single agent he adds. So stuff like that. Like you have to look at, and again, it goes back to incentives. They are de-incentivizing teams. They're de-incentivizing top producers who generate more leads than they can work themselves. So they have set up their structure to favor low-producing solo agents. Fantastic. If that's what you plan on being, by all means, go there and work there and enjoy your career, right?
Sounds horrible.
Yeah, it is horrible. I mean, if you want to grow and you want to add people and you plan on generating more leads than you can work for yourself, which we hope that you all do, you're going to need at some point to bring on, a transaction coordinator, hopefully a personal assistant, your own version of the iron box. What is it? The steel trap? Steel trap, not the iron box. The steel trap back there. You want one of those for your own team. You want buyer's agents like Greg has on his team. Greg himself is a partner, and there's 3 senior partners on the team. So there's different structures. And why would you want to go to a place that doesn't allow for that, or tries to discourage it at every turn, or they don't have the incentive set up in such a way to where if you try to do that, it's just more expensive than it would be at another place. So those are some things to consider, and that I would look at if I were starting over and looking for a company. I would look at, okay, where do I want to be 3 years from now and 5 years from now, and are they going to support that, or are they going to be a hindrance?
Yeah, you have to be somewhere where you're growing constantly, because life's going to change on you. Life has a way of, I'm going to go right. No, life's taking you left. So maybe you wanted to be just a single agent, but you found the holy grail of prospecting, and you have all these leads coming in. You're like, holy shit! Now what do I do with all this stuff? I got to build a team. Wait a minute, it's $1,000 or $750 per team. Oh no, homie, don't play that bullshit. And then you got to go and you got to rebrand yourself. You got to go move offices, and you got lose
such a
downtime.
pain.
I hate moving, dude. But you know what? I find every time I move, I find things that I haven't seen in 5 years. And then you find that gigantic dust bunny behind your computer. You're like, oh shit, man, what's that doing back there? I thought I cleaned my house, my office. Which
No.
Eileen actually is incredibly anal about cleaning the office, which I'm very glad she does, because when we wipe the countertops, ugh, our cleaning crew does not do a good job.
That's right. That's the one weakness of Greg's Brokerage. Their cleaning crew is not.
No, it's the Achilles heel.
That's right. All right. Well, what do you say? Anything else? Any last words for anybody that might be looking for a brokerage, thinking about moving brokerages?
Go out there, be honest with yourself, and stay true to what you come up with. Don't try to deviate from your core values, your core wants or needs, because this thing is something is nice and shiny over at one side, but you know it's not right for you. They're going to offer you all these great things, but the manager's a prick, and you know the office morale is low, and you have a couple of top producers, but they're rude, but they're going to give you a 90% split. No, dude, no. Go take the 65 or 75 on a nice office where the people are kind, the manager is well respected. You know, you have fun doing it. Just think of it, like I said, like a relationship. If you're going to date a guy or a gal, and you either have the opportunity to date a prick, or you have the to date an awesome human being, you can make the right decision on this, guys. But that is what I would make sure, and also be working on and in your business. So in your business is day-to-day grind, door knocking, calls, follow-ups, listings, buyers, blah, blah, blah. On your business is education. Continually educate yourselves, you guys. Never not be educating. If that means going to a class at the board, or taking a class at your brokerage, or listening to our podcast religiously, which we thank you very much for, or you know, going to listen to like Toby Salgado's podcast, Super Agents Live, or Pat Hyben, or any of the other really good ones out there that bring true education. Or reading a book about sales, negotiations, you know, anything that will bring value to you on a daily basis. Do that. That's the most important thing you can possibly do in your entire career. And my father told me that when I first started out, and I thought he had lost his damn mind. I'm like, I don't give a shit. These events are boring. You gotta wear this placard thing, which Matt has been proudly wearing around his neck for the last couple of days, you know, and sit around and talk to other human beings I don't know. Oh, it's horrible. You know, but I actually really enjoy it.
I figured you did.
It's like playtime for me. I'm like a kid in Disneyland. Woo, another person to meet. You know, but you know, look at those different things, guys. Take them to heart. Don't deviate from them, and you will do very, very well.
Yeah, and I would just throw in, I heard something really, really good the other day. They were talking about, I think it was in the context of recruiting. You talked about triangulating. So you take that one person that you want to know something about, and you talk to the person that's above them, below them, and one of their peers. I would do the same thing with brokerages. You know, I mean, talk to someone that works there, talk to someone who's a top producer, talk to someone who just is an admin, someone that works in the office, someone that reports directly to the broker and has to deal with that person every day, and then like call one of their peers, get a hold of one of the either a broker at another office, or you know, an agent that is from another company, and just see what their reputation is like outside of their building.
Yeah. Also talk to a past agent of that brokerage. Say, hey, you know, why did you guys leave? You know, what was it? You know, and then you're going to get the real story about shit.
That's probably true. Yeah.
But I mean, better you know it, and not walk in blind and be like, there's all this shiny stuff here, but the underbelly's rotten. You know, this person do this, and this. There's backstabbing, infighting. You're like, ugh, I'll go over here.
Yeah. Anything that distracts you from going out and talking to actual clients and doing actual deals will not be helpful to you.
Is a negative, guys. Remember that.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. Well,
I'm good.
All right. We'll send this baby home.
Yeah, man. We've got to do a McDaniel challenge.
You didn't mention it during your shout-outs, Greg?
I
forgot.
Blew it.
Man, I blew it too. It didn't even remind you.
Golly, way to go. Way to not keep me on track.
I know. I'm just dropping the ball all over the place.
We got to keep him caffeinated, people, at all times.
Ooh, man. I need a portable IV.
We're just going to airdrop, you know, like Marines or SEALs are going to drop out of the sky, parachute, and just like nunchucking it through the window. Right into your hand. You're like, oh,
well,
got it.
Well, they have Amazon now, right?
Oh,
I'm waiting for Starbucks now.
Oh, dude, that would seriously be your Shangri-La. You'd be sitting out on your deck and be like, waiting for your.
Yeah, exactly. I just order it from my phone, and a drone drops off a
Just like
nice iced coffee on me.
Just blown on like.
All right. Anyway, McDaniel challenge.
All right, McDaniel challenge, guys. Take it. Don't be yourself. Pick up the phone and call me. All of those of you that have done it will attest that it is a lot of fun. We have, we joke around, we banter back and forth, talk about life. But by the end of it, I will help you work through whatever is stopping you, giving you some original ideas on, your past, your history, your personality, the resources available to you, how to put these together, some scripts, some techniques that you can put into action today at zero to low cost. If you're on the fence, guys, get off the fence. My month is literally almost full. So please call me. Call me at 925-915-1978, 915-1978. Go to McDanielChallenge.com if you're in the shower or doing something that you cannot get a pen near, or if you guys are watching this video and you have a question, thought, or theory, or any of the other videos, write a response on the video. I'll get back to you as quick as possible. I was going to say like this, but I'm not always in front of you. That's right.
We were talking about this the other day. Just don't forget, guys, YouTube is a social network. So we actually interact there probably more than anywhere else. We definitely don't interact on Twitter.
God, no.
It's basically Facebook and YouTube is our two main channels. So if you actually want to talk with us and comment back and forth on stuff, those are the two best places to do it. Speaking of which, subscribe on YouTube. I forgot to mention that earlier too. I dropped the ball as well. I know we're just dropping the ball all over the place. Subscribe on YouTube. Subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher if you prefer the audio versions. Those are the best ways to keep track of the show. And we always broadcast live Mondays and Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Pacific and Fridays at 11 a.m. Pacific. So if you want to know exactly when we go live, Facebook, Twitter, follow us on Twitter. That's when we announce when we've actually gone live. That way you can watch the show being recorded live on video if you'd like to watch that.
Matt, we have a bunch of live visitors right now. To all of you guys watching us live, thank you. You're amazing. I hope we're entertaining the living shit out of you, because I'm trying to keep Matt's energy level so he doesn't go to sleep on camera.
That's right. Just be falling right over this couch. Well, I have been 70 years old since I was 7, so at some point I do have to start falling asleep in public. It's only a matter of time.
Isn't dinner time right now for you? It is 4.
It's 4:10, so I'm late. I'm late for dinner.
Get down to your mess hall.
I'll lose my coupon here.
Bingo night's gonna be ruined without your coupon and your dinner.
That's right. That's right. Okay. On that note, let's send this particular one home. We'll be back on Friday at 11 a.m.
Bingo, baby.
So I don't know what we're going to talk about. We'll figure out something. I don't think we have any guests lined up. We've got some good guests coming up. For next month, we've got some things in the pipeline, so nothing we're ready to announce yet. But we've got some cool people in the pipeline that are going to be on coming up soon. We're going to have Jeff Cohn, obviously, I know is coming up probably in February. We just need to get the details on what date he's going to be on. So we'll be talking more about prospecting and systems and team building and all kinds of cool stuff with him. But there's some other cool people we'll get on as well.
We're getting Toby on. We're getting Toby Salgado on.
Yes, that's right. That's who I was thinking of. Yeah. Toby for sure in February, I hope. So yeah, and then we've got our interview with, for sure for us, like we can do it. It's just a matter of whether he can do it in February. So
I might see if I can get my buddy Sean Smith on. He's an insurance broker. And the reason why I would have him on for you guys is because that man right there, Mr. Sean Smith, my personal broker, he went out door knocking with me, and I can talk about how effective door knocking with an insurance broker is. He saved people thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars, and I'll see if I can get him on, and he can share his stories and then kind of give you some ideas of who else to go door knocking with.
Oh, that'd be interesting. All right, we'll think about that. That'd be a cool episode. Guys, if you have any episode suggestions or specific topics you want us to cover, just let us know. Shoot us a message on Facebook. Do it in the private Facebook group once we get that up and running, or just messages, email us. Greg at McDanielRealEstateSystems.com.
It's up, dude. The Facebook
but nobody's invited yet. That's what I mean. Like once we get it up and running and everybody's invited. Sure, why not? Go ahead.
Oh, you know what? Shit. Someone give me an amazing idea. I will talk to you off air about this, but it was a rock star idea for an episode.
Oh, cool. All right. Awesome. Yeah, keep them coming, guys. All right. Until then, until Friday, we will have something to talk about. We don't know what it is, but we will talk about it then.
And Matt will be in sunny San Diego, where his brain will be turned back on, and we will kick ass, take names, and have some fun with you.
That's right. All right, guys. We'll see you then.
All right, guys. Have a great night. Bye.